Welcome to my review of the Vanguard. At the end of the season, you want to make sure you spend those Engrams. If you don't spend them, you will lose them. So, if you have a bunch of them stockpiled like I do, or if you don't have a lot of them stockpiled, we'll just give you a quick rundown on what weapons we recommend, and then make sure a reminder here of the rewards. Make sure you collect all the rewards. If you don't collect it, you will lose the items. So if you have extra upgrade modules, use them. Come back to the vendor, grab them if you have them, or make sure you get these resets. Don't forget these are available. If you have, if you need them some extra bounties, if you complete all the weekly ones, you got all stocked up, you need an extra few more, because I'd recommend stock up on every single bounty you can, complete them all, don't turn them in, wait till the next season starts, then turn them in. Get that big XP boost reward to get you going to the next season. So Vanguard's a pretty good one to go with. Crucible will probably be the number one, I'd say, if you're looking for some quick ones to complete and the next day turn in. Say you did them on that Monday and then Tuesday reset, you get on once the servers come back online, and then you can just turn them all in for the new season. That way you get that nice XP boost. But so our Engrams, you can use them right away right here if you want. Just get some random items of whatever's in the focusing decoding section. Or that way, if any of them you don't like, you can always throw them into the legendary shards. But if you want to focus these, let's make sure we pick up some good choices here. So I would say to start with, you have the whole focus decoding, which will be all these items will be available per the Vanguard Engram. The only exception to that would be the death weapon here. But I will say, if you want to start with, go to Legacy Gear. There are some really good items here. Specifically, the Hothead. The Hothead is probably the most used, if not the best, rocket launcher currently in the game. So if you don't have it, I definitely recommend you grab it. It's 2 Engrams per, so you would be using more. But if you have a bunch of stockpiled, you can definitely get it. So spend a lot on the Hothead. If you've leveled up your faction a lot here this season, as a lot of people may have, then you'll get more unlocks of perks. So if I were to buy Hothead here and I'd switch right to it on my inventory, I would have more perks available if I unlocked more, right? But I only have the 2 because I did not do a lot of Vanguard upgrades this season. Crucible would have a lot more, but if you upgraded a lot, then you would have it. So what you do is you can spend those Engrams on the Hothead here. Another one, really good one, is going to be the Comedian. A Comedian's a pretty good shotgun here, as it is a Void Shotgun aggressive frame, so it's actually not a bad one to get. If you like it for PvP, it's definitely going to do some really good damage if you get a good roll. But everything else here I wouldn't recommend as the best pick. Maybe the DFA might be good, might be pretty good next season. But most of these ones I would probably recommend on holding off on. If you really want the Hothead, grab the Hothead. But for the current season stuff, which will come from the random rolls, I would recommend the Pure Poetry as a hand cannon for PvP, the Prolonged Engagement for PvE or PvP, both are pretty decent. But it'd probably be more for a PvE set. I'm thinking that Stasis is going to be the artifact focus of this season, as they were kind of hinting at it at last, with the surges being out for Stasis last time early, and they had to pull that back. So I'm thinking Stasis is going to be the mix here with maybe Solar. So if you have a really good machine gun going into Stasis with the double special nerf, primaries may be the way to go. So some machine guns may come back out to play. The other thing you can get, if you really wanted, was if you did the Nightfalls. If you unlocked any of these, I only unlocked the depth versions of these. I don't have the normal version. But if you have the unlocked version of the Loaded Question, I'd highly recommend that one. It is an amazing weapon. If you get the Charge Time Masterwork and then you get the Controlled Burst, this is going to be a really, really good pick to get. But if not, you can always go with the Swarm. The Swarm is insane. This weapon is absolutely insane for Arc, so I'd highly, highly recommend this one for Arc. You get target lock, it'll do a massive damage. You get sway reduction, and the next perk slot you can do a lot of damage. If you add a backup mod onto the weapon, you'll have increased magazine. It's a really, really good weapon. You also can get Dragonfly with it, so it has a really nice potential for big damage. But the new change also for the hung jury is the hung jury can roll with shoot a loot and kinetic trimmers. Kinetic trimmers can pick up with shoot a loot, can pick up orbs of power now. So this might be the god roll come next season. With if say they put scout rifles on the artifacts, so it takes out champions, you may have a way to do a massive amount of damage with your primary weapon. So definitely worth picking up if you can. The other weapon I'd recommend probably is the sidearm, which is the Buzzard. Buzzard can get kinetic trimmers also. Not a bad weapon if you've unlocked it here. If you have not unlocked any of these weapons, no problem at all. You're only missing out from a lot of Loaded Questions, Swarm, and Hung Jury. There are some other good weapons you can do here, but as the Xeno class isn't that bad either. It's a lightweight. It's a decent shotgun. Not the best of the shotguns, but it's pretty good. And then you could do definitely these two as a priority if you haven't unlocked any of this stuff. And Nameless Midnight actually isn't that bad for PvP. It's a Vanguard weapon, but it's not that bad for PvP. But don't forget, if you have any Engrams, haven't picked any transmog up, definitely do that. But a really nice way to get some free legendary shards, because if you don't use them, you lose them. Definitely recommend that, or get some Glimmer stacked up for the next season with some enhancement cores if you unlocked them. So, enough out of me. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to comment below if you liked any of these weapons, or if I missed the weapon that you think is an absolutely amazing weapon that I forgot to bring up. Definitely like the feedback, and as always, I hope you have a fantastic day.